It's Bhante is gonna tell us, and we'll learn like why only the Buddha and only the Buddha can do Dhammacakkapavattana. So before we move on to Bhante's main session, I would like to introduce Bhante. Venerable Bhante Vimalvansa is a Pali scholar, teacher in Abhidhamma, mentor in Samatha and Vipassana meditation. His monastery in Sri Lanka is Sri Kalyani Yoga Shrama Forest Monastery. And Bhante is currently practicing meditation in PAOK, Myanmar. That's a PAOK tradition for last 6.5 years. And Bhante, this month, in about 3 weeks, Bhante is going to India to stay there for a few years to teach and give meditation objects to all the Indian upasakas and upasikas. So we'll talk about that at the end of the session. But Vandami Bhante, and so grateful Bhante, and so compassionate you agreed to discuss this topic today. And Bhante has a presentation, so I'll be sharing that. Bhante, for benefit of all, Bhante, I request you to give today's Dhamma Desana.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Dhamma talk is why only the Buddha can do Dhammacakkapavattana Sutta. And before finding out the causes or the answers, I would like to go to Dhammacakkapavattana Sutta. Otherwise, actually, I assume that most probably you heard this Dhammacakkapavattana Sutta before, but here I explain what is the main content of this Dhammacakkapavattana Sutta, and sometimes it will be helpful to you to understand why Buddha can only do the Dhammacakkapavattana Sutta. You know this Dhammacakkapavattana Sutta, Dhamma plus Cakka plus Pavattana and Sutta. So 4 words we have. You know, the Sutta meaning is the discourse, and Sutta meaning is the discourse. And what is Dhamma? What is Dhamma? Now you can zoom it and see what is Dhamma. Dhamma have four words. Let's take the meaning of these 4 words. Dhamma. What is Dhamma? Dhamma in related to the Attakatha or the commentary. Dhamma is the Namarupa, Khanda, Ayatana, Dhatu, and Satcha, Paticca Samuppada, Adi, Paticca Samuppada, Adi, Paramartha. What is the meaning of that? This Dhamma, you need to understand this. What is this Dhamma? So Namarupa. Namarupa means your mentality and the materiality. You are made up of mentality and materiality. So what is the mentality? Your mind plus mental factors. You have 52 mental factors according to the Buddha. And this mind and the mental factor, you have 4 aggregates. And again, you have materiality. Your materiality, that means your body. Your materiality is your body. That is what is called Rupa Khanda, or the materiality aggregate. And that is the Namarupa, and then Khanda. In the mentality, you have 4 Khanda. 4 Khanda mean 4 aggregates. What is the 4 aggregates? Feeling aggregate, and you have perception aggregate, and you have formation aggregate. This formation aggregate is consist of your wisdom faculty, your effort, and your saddha or your faith, so on, mental factors. Even your chetana, like volition, like mental factors, it has. And finally, you have this is the formation aggregate, and other one is your consciousness aggregate. So altogether 5 aggregates. You have 5 aggregates. You have nama and rupa, or the mentality and materiality, and you have 5 aggregates. So those are the dhamma.
Yeah.
Now we are in what is dhamma. What is dhamma? Dhamma is the nama rupa, khanda, ayatana, and dhatu, satcha, and paticcasamuppada, so on. Ultimate materiality, ultimate phenomena are the dhamma. So what is your mentality? Mentality and materiality are the nama rupa, and you are made up of mentality and materiality. And again, you have 5 aggregate, and others also have 5 aggregate. What are they? Rupa aggregate, that means your materiality aggregate, and your perception aggregate, and your feeling aggregate, and your other formation aggregate, and your consciousness aggregate. And again, you have 12 bases, and you have 18 elements, and you have 4 noble truths. And again, you have paticcasamuppada, that means your dependent origination. You have dependent origination. And now, and even nibbana also, your dhamma. So dhamma is the, actually this dhamma is the, also dhamma is a, we can say dhamma is a blanket term. That means it has wide range of things including. And then what is the meaning of chakra? Chakra meaning in the chakra is the, just literal meaning of chakra is the circle or the wheel. And but commentary says pativeda jnanampi desana jnanampi dhamma chakram. That means among the mentality, among your mentality, this description among the mentality, taking most powerful dhamma, that is the wisdom or your knowledge. Therefore, in the Buddha's knowledge here, Buddha's knowledge, Pativeda Jnana means Buddha's discerning knowledge of the Four Noble Truths, or comprehension knowledge of the Four Noble Truths. What discerning knowledge? Discerning knowledge means 5 aggregate discerning knowledge, and Dukkha Satcha Dhamma discerning knowledge, and Samadhi Satcha discerning knowledge. Those are the discerning knowledge. So the discerning knowledge of the Four Noble Truths and teaching knowledge, that is the desana jnana. Desana jnanampi chakkam. So desana jnanampi dhamma chakkam. So the teaching knowledge of the Four Noble Truths also dhamma chakka. And but sub commentary says here they in the commentary it takes the wisdom faculty or jnana, and sub commentary says saddhadi dhamma samudayopana pavattanattena chakkanti dhamma chakkam. What is the meaning? Faith faculty, so on whole, you have whole lot of phenomena, dhamma are the dhamma. By means of move forward of this dhamma refers to a circle, therefore this dhamma circle. So this is the wheel, or this is the wheel, and these are the word we can say word meaning of this sutta. And this sutta, when Buddha dwelt in the Varanasi, Isipatana, Migadaya in ancient Mahabharata in your country, and he addressed the 5 group bhikkhu. They are the Venerable Kondanya, Appa, Badya, Mahanama, Asaji, those 5 group bhikkhu. And Buddha addressed the bhikkhu and preached in this way. Buddha started this Dhamma talk in this way. Dveme bhikkave anta pabbajitena nasevi tabba. While Buddha preaching this phrase, Dveme bhikkave anta up to this phrase. So all this sound spreaded 10,000 world cycles. So all the 10,000 world cycles, Brahma gathered in the Isipatana Migadaya at that time. Uncountable Brahma. So because the Buddha preached this Dhamma talk up to Dveme Bhikkhave Anta. only that phrase. Then all Brahma gathered in the 10,000 word cycle to the Isipatana. And Buddha said to the monk, monk, you should not practice these two entities. What are they? What is Kama Sukhallikan? The first one is Kama Sukhallikan Yoga. That means the happiness arising from the sensual pleasure. Buddha said that is very inferior and vulgar. And again, the second entity is another entity is the Atta Kilamatana Yoga. That means self-mortification. This self-mortification makes your body suffer excruciating pain. So they, at that time, Buddha also practiced this self-mortification for 6 years. This bhikkhus also practicing. And but Buddha says here that the two entities are useless. Both are meaningless, non-noble. But I practice central way or the Majjhima Patipada. That is the useful. And then what is this central way? This central way has 5 benefits. What are the benefits? That means this central way exists. The first benefit is for the arising of wisdom eye. That means Chakku Karani. In the sutta it says Chakku Karani. And then the second benefit is for the knowledge full-fledged to the ultimate realities. That is the Jnana Karani. Chakku Karani and then Jnana Karani. And then third one, for the calming down of defilements, Upasamaya. And then fourth benefit is for the understanding of the Four Noble Truths by experience, by discerning the Four Noble Truths, the understanding. And that is what is called Abhinyaya. And the fifth one is for the accomplishment of the Nibbana, or the peaceful element. That is those 5 kinds of benefits you have while practicing the central way or the Majjhima Patipada. What is that central way? That is the noble eightfold path. Namely, maybe Samma Ditti, right view, and Samma Sankappa, right thought, and Samma Vacha, right speech, Samma Kammanta, right action, and Samma Ajiva, right livelihood, and Samma Vayama, right effort, and Samma Sati, right mindfulness, Samma Samadhi, right concentration. And after telling these things, Buddha, and then he moved to the to teach the noble truths. Why he teach the noble truths here? This is the one benefit out of 5. While practicing this central way or the Majjhima Patipada, I mentioned you have 5 benefits. Now, fourth benefit is for the understanding of the Four Noble Truths by experience. So therefore, the Buddha explained these 4 Noble Truths here. And again, 4 Noble Truths are the heart of Dhamma. That is the powerhouse of this Dhamma. And again, Noble Eightfold Path depends on 4 Noble Truths. Or other way, we can say 4 Noble Truths depend on the Noble Eightfold Path. And again, these 5 group bhikkhu, they appreciate the self-mortification. There is not the annihilation. That is you should forget about this annihilation. That is a self-mortification. These 5 big group bhikkhu also practice at that time self-mortification. So that is related to the dukkha satya. And this is also a wrong view, this self-mortification, by practicing self-mortification, that means it makes your body suffer extremely huge pain. So this is one wrong view. So therefore, they believe that while practicing this self-mortification, they attain Nibbana. So that is wrong view. So therefore, Buddha mentioned mainly 4 Noble Truths here. And what are the Four Noble Truths? Let's say, let's go quickly. Dukkha Satya. The first noble truth is the Dukkha Satya, the noble truth of the suffering. And the second noble truth is the Samudaya Satya, that is the noble truth of cause of suffering. And then Nirodha Satya, you have the noble truth of the cessation of suffering. And fourth is the Magga Satya, the noble truth of the practice which leads the cessation of suffering. And then Buddha teaches Four Noble Truths by way of three rounds or three circles, we can say. That is what is called Tiparivatta. Buddha mentioned these Four Noble Truths by way of Tiparivatta. Tiparivatta means the first one is Satchanyana, and then Kichanyana and Katanyana. Those are the Tiparivatta, or three rounds. And what is this Satchanyana? The knowledge about the natural existence of the Four Noble Truths as they really are. That is the Satchanyana. And then Kichanyana. Kichanyana means, Kicha means the function or the performance. That means the knowledge that knows about the performance should be done to realize Four Noble Truths. And then you have Katanyana. Katanyana means has been done. That is the Kata, the literal meaning. So the Katanyana means the knowledge that that knows the performance has already been done to realize Four Noble Truths. So according to these three rounds, and you have Four Noble Truths, and altogether you have 12 types. 12 types. So 3 rounds and 12 types. According to the 3 rounds and 12 types, Buddha explained this Dhamma talk, or Buddha give this Dhamma talk. Now, thereafter, Buddha explained in detail what is Dukkha Satya, what is Samudaya Satya, like that. And Dukkha Satya, Buddha explained in this way: birth is suffering, aging is also suffering, disease is also suffering, death is also suffering, associated with the disagreeable persons also suffering, dissociation with the agreeable persons also suffering, and not obtaining whatever delight in also suffering. In brief, Buddha says your 5 aggregates are suffering, and this is the Dukkha Satya. This is the truly existing Dukkha Satya. And now Buddha mentioned in the this Tiparivatta, or the we can say 3 rounds. What is that? This Dukkha Satya, which I have never heard before, but now my wisdom aroused on that. That is the first round. And then this Dukkha Satya, I have never heard before, but now my wisdom aroused that which should be discerned up to its ultimate materiality and ultimate mentality level. And then this Dukkha Satya, which I have never heard before, now my wisdom aroused on that, I have discerned it. I have already discerned it. So that means how discern? By way of the practice. So that means by way of the Noble Eightfold Path. And then Samudaya Satya. Buddha explained the Samudaya Satya. Samudaya Satya also according to the 3 rounds. What is Samudaya Satya? Buddha explained first what is the Samudaya Satya. This is the noble truth of the cause of the suffering. Actually, this is the craving. This craving gives seeds for the next lives, and associated with exuberant craving, delight in such and such realms, namely which realms? Kama Tanha. Kama Tanha means craving for the sensual pleasure, and Bhava Tanha, craving for the eternity, and Vibhava Tanha, that means the craving for the annihilation. And this Samudaya Satya also I have never heard before, but now my wisdom aroused on that. And this Samudaya Satya, which I have never heard before, now my knowledge aroused, which should be abandoned, that knowledge aroused. And this Samudaya Satya, which I have never heard before, but now my knowledge aroused, this craving, this very craving this very craving already abandoned. So there, in this way, Buddha explained the Triparivatta and the other types and Nirodha Satya. Then Buddha moved to Nirodha Satya. This is the cessation of suffering. Nirodha Satya means the cessation of suffering, which is the cessation of that very craving that I mentioned before, without remainder. Without any remainder, you want to cease your craving. So that is the Nirodha. This Nirodha Satya also, which I have never heard before, but now my wisdom arose on that. That should be accomplished. That knowledge aroused in me, I have never heard before. And cessation of craving also, which I have never heard before, but now my knowledge aroused on that. That should be that has been already accomplished in me. So that knowledge aroused in me. In that way, this is the Nirodha Satya explanation. And then Buddha moved to Magga Satya. This is the monk practice which leads to the cessation of suffering, which is the Noble Eightfold Path. And this Magga Satya, which I have never heard before, but now my wisdom aroused on that. And now again, this is the Magga Satya which I have never heard before, and which should be my knowledge now arose on in me, which should be practiced and cultivated. That knowledge aroused in me. And then the third one, Katha Jnana, Buddha explained in this way to the Magga Satya. This Magga Satya, which I have never heard before, but now my knowledge aroused that it has already been full-fledged in me. That knowledge aroused in me. So in this way, Buddha mentioned Four Noble Truths by way of 3 rounds and 12 types. And then Buddha says, as long as I haven't realized these Four Noble Truths, I never proclaim to the community. This community, to the human community, as well as in the Deva and Brahma community, Mara community, I didn't proclaim. And then, but whenever I realize this, whenever I realize this Four Noble Truths, only I proclaim for them that I realize this Four Noble Truths by experience. That means the supreme enlightenment. And ultimately Buddha said, these Four Noble Truths arouse in me, my emancipation or my freedom is not shakable, not jolt. It is not non-jolt. And this is my last life, no rebirth again. This Buddha proclaimed very, very vividly. And then these 5 group bhikkhus, Venerable Kondanja, Vappa, Baddiya, Mahanama, and Venerable Asaji, they accepted this doctrine of the Buddha and make delight therein. Again. And then, when this Dhamma talk released by the Buddha, Venerable Kondanya attained the stream entry state. That means that is the first path knowledge. And this is the what is called in Pali, this is the Sotapanna. And he sees that in while practicing and while hearing the Dhamma talk and while practicing, he sees that whatever the arising phenomena, all subject to cessation phenomena. And then when the Buddha addressed these 5 group bhikkhus, saying Dveme Bhikkhave Anta phrase, I explained this before also, that that spreaded to the that spreaded in this galaxy from the Avicii up to the top of the top realm. That is what called Nevasanya, Nasanya world simultaneously. And you know, therefore the all Brahma, not all Brahma, the uncountable Brahma gathered in the Isipatana, but out of them, 18 billion of them attained the Sotapanna state simultaneously with the Venerable Kondañña. That is very important. 18 billion of Brahma plus Venerable Kondañña attained the Sotapanna state. And when the Buddha turned this Dhamma talk, Dhammacakkapavattana Sutta, the terrestrial Deva, Bhumma Deva, or the terrestrial Deva uttered as sadhu, 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 like they uttered. And they, not only that, and they claim that superior Dhamma wheel was moved forward by the exalted one. No one can stop that. No one can stop that. So this sound was heard to the first Devarem, what is called the Chatu Maharajika Devarem, and they also did the same thing. They also did the sadhukara, and then they also said the same thing, and then gradually from there to the Tavatinsa Deva world and Yama Deva world and Tusita Deva world, and other one is the Nimmana Rati and Paranimita Vasavartha Deva world, and gradually Brahmarem, to the Brahmarem, fine material Brahmarem, first jhana rem up to the Vehapala rem. These sounds gradually spreaded, up to that Brahmarem. And while this sadhukara, simultaneously with this sadhukara sound, this sound, because of this sound, 10,000 world cycle get shocked. Their earthquake happened. But you don't be worried about that. This earthquake is not harmful. This is just an earthquake only. And then at the same time, from the Buddha's body, brilliant, bright and radiant light spreaded up to the 10,000 world cycle. And that is because of the power of the Buddha's Sabbanyuta Jnana, omniscient knowledge. And this is the sutta. This is the content of sutta. Now we want to move why the Buddha, Samma Sambuddha only can do Dhammacakkapavattana Sutta. Okay, now before we go to the what are the causes or the answers, so you want to know what is the kappa. What is the kappa, and kappa mean what is the kappa, how kappa formed and how kappa destroy, or how kappa dissolution can occur. So take a look at to this chart, and this chart says you have in the very beginning you have this is what is called, this is the kappa. You can see in the left side you have, this is the existing kappa or the existing uncalculable eon. This is the existing one. This uncalculable eon contains 64 antar kappa. 64 antar kappa. So this is the kappa we can live here. And then you have another, then again after this kappa, this world dissolution or the destruction occur. And destruction occur up to one asankhya kappa or the incalculable eon. And then after fully destruct, again one asankhya kappa it remains, and then again it start to develop. That means it's being developed. That is also takes one asankhya kappa, and then you have another, again you have the formed kappa, fully formed kappa. According to this chart, you can understand this 4 asankhya kappa. You have 4 asankhya kappa. Initial 4 asankhya kappa, you have Maha kappa. 4 asankhya kappa is equal to Maha kappa. So out of these 4 Asankya Kappa, we can live in the already developed Kappa only we can live. Other all 3 Kappa we can't live in the earth. Therefore, all beings want to go to a Vehapala Brahma world. And then you need to know about what is the Antar Kappa. Okay. Let's see the Antar Kappa. You see, this the definition of the Antar Kappa according to the Sāsapa Sutta in the Tipitaka, that is in Sansanikaya. Here's the one definition of Antar Kappa. You know, from the beginning, in the right side you have a human's lifespan, and then it starts from the 10. Human lifespan, it starts from the 10 and up to the 10 power 140 Asankya years. That means that is that cannot be counted. So therefore Asankya years, and usually our age starting from 10 up to Asankya year, that means 10 power 140. It gradually goes up, and then again gradually goes down, gradually comes down up to 10, year 10. And in between, while gradually coming down, you have 1,000, 100,000 years and 100 years. In between that only, Sammasambuddha can again appear in your country. That means in the Mahabharata or India or Jambudvipa, India. In India, then only you can see Buddha on from the 100,000 years. That means 1 lakh years, and in between the 100 years. So that is very important to understand what is how Buddha only can use the Dhammacakkapavattana Sutta. Okay, now let's move to the other. Okay, now this is also we just mentioned this thing. You know, after the Kassapa Buddha's Sasana disappearance, this Gautama the Buddha found the Dhamma again on his own right. That means without a teacher, he himself find out this Dhamma again. But you know, our Gautama the Buddha's aspiration in this way, aspiration means his ambition or his dissolution, his resolution. His resolution is in this way. That means every Buddha has Manopanidana. Manopanidana means you have Manopanidana means the aspiration. They make an aspiration. May I be a Samma Sambuddha by heart only. By heart only. Manopanidana. That is what is called Manopanidana. In the Manopanidana, you have in our Gautama the Buddha's Manopanidana, you have 7 Asankya Kappa. 7 Asankya Kappa. So these 7 Asankya Kappa, you know these Asankya Kappa in the that means our Buddha's Manopanidana and Vacha Panidana and Kaya Vacha Panidana, all Panidana, all the aspiration takes 20 Asankya Kappa. So then we start from the 20 Asankya Kappa. That means the former Asankya Kappa 20, last Asankya Kappa 20. From the 20, you have up to 14. Up to 14, these 7 Asankya Kappa Buddha has seen. You can see Buddha has first in the 20 Asankya Kappa Buddha has seen 5,000 Buddhas, and then 9,000 Buddha, and then 10,000 Buddha, and then 11,000 Buddha, and then 20,000 Buddha, again 30,000 Buddha, and 40,000 Buddha. Like that, all together 125,000 Samma Sambuddha our Gautama Bodhisattva has seen. So this is the Manopanidhana. That means he aspirate his aspiration is, may I be a Buddha may I be the Buddha by heart only. And then Vacha Panidhana, you go to the Vacha Panidhana, take a look at here. And then Vacha Panidhana, you have 9 Asankhya Kappa. In this 9 Asankhya Kappa also, you see starting from the Sakya Gautama, that not this Sakya Gautama, that is the former in the ancient Sakya Gautama Buddha. At that time, 50,000 Buddhas arouse in this world, and then 60,000 Buddha in the next kappa, and then 70,000, and then 80,000, and then 90,000, and then 20,000, and then 10,000, and then 3,000. Sorry, 5,000, and then 2,000. In the fifth Asankhya kappa, up to 5th Asankhya kappa, you have altogether 387,000 Buddhas. That means our Gautama the Bodhisattva has seen these all Buddhas. And then this is the Kaya, that is what is called, what we discuss is the Vacha Pranidhana. Vacha Pranidhana means the aspiration may I be Supreme Buddha by verbally. That is the Vacha Pranidhana. And then you have again 4 Asankhya Kappa. That is the Buddha's Parami, Buddha's the Panya Adhika Buddha's Parami. 4 Asankhya Kappa and 100,000 years, 100,000 Kappa. And then in this 4 Asankhya Kappa, Buddha has seen 27 Buddhas in this Asankhya Kappa. So that means he starting from the Dipankara Buddha, he took the definite prophecy. You may become a Buddha in near future. So like that, from the Dipankara Buddha, he took the definite prophecy, and then all 27 Buddhas, 24 Buddhas up to Kakusanda, up to Kakusanda Buddha, he took the definite prophecy. And so therefore you have how many, our Gautama the Buddha, he has how many altogether? 20 Asankhya Kappa. He has altogether 20 Asankhya Kappa. He to attain the Buddhahood, he did the performance. So this is also important to understand why only Buddha can do. And then we go to the other chart, or the this is the final 100,000 kappas. The other chart, that is starting from the Padumuttara Buddha, and then starting from the Padumuttara Buddha up to the our Gautama the Buddha. And then you can see this chart, and then how many definite prophecy here. Here also Padumuttara Buddha up to you can see here Kakusanda Buddha, Konagamana Buddha, Kassapa Buddha, all definite prophecy has been taken by our Buddha. And then so therefore such a way of long journey must have to the Buddha, the Bodhisattva want to achieve such a long journey to become Samma Sambuddha. So you just understand in this way. And then why the Samma Sambuddha can only do this Dhammacakkapavattana Sutta. Now you know our Gautama the Buddha has these 3 aspirations. That means Manopanidhana, by heart only he aspirate, and then vacha panidana, by verbally only he aspirate, and then kaya vacha panidana. That means his aspiration is by both bodily and verbally. That means how many asankhya? 4 asankhya and 100,000 kappas. And then Dr. Sheetal, go to another slide. Okay, that is the what is that? Yes, maybe. Okay, now I discuss this thing. I discuss this in that mean after Kassapa Buddha, this Gautama the Buddha found the Dhamma again, and then our Gautama the Buddha has this aspiration: Mano Panidana, Vacha Panidana, and Kaya Vacha Panidana. And he took the definite prophecy starting from the Dipankara Buddha and up to Kassapa Buddha. And then you need to know, especially during 4 Asankhya Kappas and the 100,000 Kappas, he has practiced jhana up to 8 attainment. Jhana up to 8 attainment means sometimes you might know jhana. There are fine material 4 jhana. First jhana, second jhana, third jhana, fourth jhana, and then you have immaterial 4 jhana: akasananchayatana jhana, viññānañchayatana jhana, akinchanyayatana jhana, and the nevasanya nasanya jhana. So these all fine material jhana, 4 fine material jhana and 4 immaterial jhana are called 8 attainment. So Buddha, our Bodhisattva practice this jhana attainment in all 4 asankhya kappas and 100,000 kappas. And then he practiced vipassana meditation, insight meditation up to Sankharopeka Jnana state. I'm not going to give detail. And then he produced supramundane powers, supranatural power, not supramundane, supranatural powers. What is that? What is called abhinya. That is what is called abhinya. So he produced these 6 types of abhinya. That means he can see, the first one is Pubbe Nivasanusyati. That means he can see the recollection of the past life, and he can see the he has the Dibba Chakkunyana. That means he can see the all three world by mind, and again he can read the other's mind, and he can hear the Devas and Brahma sound, and again he can create himself, and he can create the others also. That is what's called Iddhividya Jnana. So these type of 6 abhinya he has. And then before Asankhya Kappa also you have 4 Asankhya Kappa, you have 16 Asankhya Kappa. So that time also he practiced, especially this 4 Asankhya Kappa and 100,000 Kappa, he practiced this thing. And maybe next page. And again he has done 10 types of parami. 10 types of parami. What are 10 types of parami mean? You know, dana parami, sila parami, nekama parami, panya parami, virya parami, kanti parami, satya parami, aditthana parami, metta parami, upeka parami. Parami mean the perfections. And then he has done 10 types of perfections. And again, he has done 10 types of minor perfection, upaparami. And then he has done 10 types of ultimate perfections. That means paramatha parami. So because of these all powers, Siddhartha Bodhisattva attained the Samma Sambuddha state in himself without a teacher by his own right in the Buddha Gaya under the Bodhi tree in your country. And then simultaneously with this enlightenment, he attained, not all the Buddha, not only this Buddha, all the Buddha attained the omniscient knowledge. Omniscient knowledge, that means the Sabbanyuta Jnana, and he attained other Dasabala Jnana. And again, he attained the 4 Patisambhida knowledge. That means the 4 discriminative knowledges, and 6 Abhinya also, and again, altogether 73 other jnana, 73 other knowledges also Buddha attained. And you need to know this thing also. Naturally, for the Buddha's, Bodhisattva's physical power occur naturally with the birth. And you know, again, Buddha's skin color is golden. And not only this skin, that skin color usually to the Buddhas 6 feet, 6 feet it spread. And but the Buddha Sabbanyuta Jnana light, or the omniscient knowledge, light from the omniscient knowledge in the heart, it can be spread up to the 10,000 world cycles. You know this before also. And this is actually this Sabbanyuta Jnana power is more powerful than the Deva and Brahma. Deva, Mara, and Brahma. They also has light. They also have light. Then they are more powerful than they are lights. And then because Buddha gives the first Dhamma talk to the 5 Guru Bhikkhu in the Isipatana, and but no one can stop that. Why? Because they are not splendid than the Buddha. And actually, we can judge in this way. If they are magnificent than the Buddha, they usually prevent that thing. And especially Mara, you know, Mara doesn't like if the people hear Dhamma and practice Dhamma. He doesn't like. Mara doesn't like if the people practice Dhamma and hear Dhamma, because he can't maintain his master on them. That's the reason. So therefore, in the case of Adhamma, if somebody spread Adhamma to the country or somewhere, this Mara like. So now you can understand this Buddha, and you know what is Dhamma, no? Dhamma is very deep and profound. So Namarupa, your 5 mentality and materiality, and your 5 aggregates, and your 12 bases, 18 elements, and 4 noble truths, noble eightfold path, and you have Paticca Samuppada cycle, that means the dependent origination, and again you have another 37 Bodhipakya Dhamma, that means 37 enlightenment phenomena, and then again ultimately Nibbana. Not only that, many Dhamma he understood in the under the Bodhi tree. So he is the powerful, no one powerful than him. So therefore he is the suitable one to give the Dhammacakkapavattana Sutta to the bhikkhus or to the community. So this is the reason, because of the knowledge means the wisdom, or we can say this is the Sabbanyuta knowledge. Because of this Sabbanyuta knowledge, Buddha gave Dhamma talk to the 5 Guru Bhikkhu as Dhammacakkapavattana Sutta. All Buddhas usually give this Dhammacakkapavattana Sutta to the community. This is the very first sutta of all Buddhas. This is the very first sutta. Those are the causes and the reason Buddha only can do the Dhammacakkapavattana Sutta. Okay. Now it's okay, no? Any question? Do you have any question?
Sadhu, 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 Bhante. What a wonderful session, Bhante. So much gratitude, Bhante, for taking this very deep in topic. I know with the time constraint.
Yeah.
So I now open up the forum for question answers. So please raise your hand or type your question in chat box. Yes, Jagannath sir. And we have time constraints, sir. So if you can make your question brief, that would be very appreciable, because Bhante is, yeah, it's late in Myanmar.
Can I take 30 seconds or 1 minute?
Yeah, of course.
Bhante, Namo Buddhaya, Jai Bhim. Bhante, my sincere appreciation for your enlightenment. After listening what I learned, the Arahant, after doing 10 paramis and 10 upaparamis, and deeply getting into the enlightenment,
Yes.
he develops the superpowers. My question is, if a person can see, visualize, communicate, and all the three dimensions, then all the angels and enlightened have reached that. A common person, can he communicate? For example, a venerable monk, can he communicate to another monk by the supernatural power? This is a very simple question. I would like to know if a venerable monk can communicate to another venerable monk by the superpowers, by getting into paramis and upaparamis and very high level of, achieving nibbana. Is it possible? This is my first question. The last question in the line is, going by Goenkaji. Goenkaji always taught us to look at Dhamma. Nothing else Dhamma. Your Dhamma is your salvation, your enlightenment. So could you kindly answer these two questions? I'm sorry for taking more time.
Okay. Now, the first question, I will move to first question. For example, let's say one monk and both two monks have this supernatural power, and they can communicate. No problem. That communicate mean, for example, he can by the supernatural power, one bhikkhu can to another bhikkhu, no? Or one layman, if the layman has this power, that layman can come to the another layman power who has the same qualities, and they can achieve nibbana also. But the way is to practicing vipassana. Vipassana means real vipassana. By practicing real vipassana only, they can achieve nibbana. That means they want to practice this eightfold path, no? Noble eightfold path. This noble eightfold path, the vipassana depends on this eightfold path. But this eightfold path, what is the practice is the 7 types of visuddhi. So by doing 7 types of visuddhi, starting from the sila visuddhi and then chitta visuddhi. Chitta visuddhi is the concentration. That means you need to practice after fulfilling your sila visuddhi, you need to practice jhana attainment or 4-element meditation up to its upachara concentration as a Suddha Vipassaka. And then you need to practice what is called the Namarupa Paricheda Jnana, Paccaya Parigraha Jnana, and then Sammasana Jnana, Udayavaya Jnana, and then Bhanga Jnana, Bhaya Jnana, then Adinava Jnana, and then you have again Nibbida Jnana, Munchitu Kammeta Jnana, Sankaropika, Patisanka Jnana, Sankaropika Jnana, and then Anuloma Jnana, Gotrabhu Jnana, and then Magga Jnana. Up to this is the way to practice. So by taking this type of attainment, and attainment means the Shadamijna like attainment, and then if the one who attained to the Shadabhinya and didn't do the Vipassana cannot attain Nibbana. This is the first answer. It's okay?
Extremely thankful, Bhante, but you mentioned so many things. After going through the recording, I will be able to follow. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yeah. And then another question, two questions, no?
Yeah, two questions. That is, Venerable Goenka ji, he always, when he talks to lay upasakas, he always stresses it is every second, millions of times, the life is pulsating. What Dhamma we practice is the ultimate. How to match these two? Going to Nibbana on one hand, another to go into the best possible Dhamma. How do you look at it, Bhante?
Yeah. For example, actually, what is Dhamma? No, what is Dhamma? Dhamma is the I explained Dhamma is the not so much of explanation. Little briefly explain Namarupa, 5 Khandha, and 12 bases, 18 elements, and 4 noble truths, and Paticca Samuppada. That means the dependent origination, and your 8 noble eightfold path, and Sapta Visuddhi, all the Sattva Visuddhi, or the 7 types of Visuddhi, and 16 types of Vipassana Jnana. So those are the Dhamma, no? So therefore, now using these Dhamma, and finally, the most important supramundane Dhamma is the Nibbana and the Maggaphala. Magga and that means the path knowledge and fruition knowledges, path knowledges and the fruition knowledges, and Nibbana. Nibbana is the object for them. And now, how to attain Nibbana? You want to practice according to the Buddha's way. Buddha mentioned in in Digha Nikaya, Buddha mentioned every sutta except the Brahmajala Sutta. Produce jhana first, and then do the vipassana. And produce jhana first, and then practice 4 element meditation, and do then the vipassana according to the Namarupa Pariccheda Jnana and Paccekapparikka Jnana fulfilling. And again, Majjhima Nikaya, Buddha mentioned again same thing. Maybe most of the sutta Buddha mentioned jhana attainment. Jhana attainment is very important in this to protect the sasana. And again, Samyutta Nikaya, Anguttara Nikaya, and the Khuddaka Nikaya also, many suttas Buddha mentioned about this the jhana attainment. Because why? Whatever I mentioned, Dhamma, which can be seen through this jhana light very, very clearly than the Suddha Vipassaka. Suddha Vipassaka, what is the light? You need a light. You need a light to see this Dhamma. Otherwise, if you don't produce the light, you cannot see this Dhamma. Dhamma means your mentality, that is your Dukkha Satya Dhamma. No? What is the cause of this Dukkha Satya Dhamma? That is in the past life. So you want to see your past life, and you want to find out your tanha in the past life. Tanha, where is your tanha? It is in the chitta-viti. So you need to discern your chitta-viti or the mental process in the past life. In the past life, you need to discern your what is called the chitta-viti or the mental process in this very life also. And then those things can be very clear if you produce jhana. But for the Suddha Vipassaka, Buddha mentioned 4 element meditation. Directly go to the 4 element meditation. And then in the Mahasatipatthana Sutta also, Buddha never mentioned Suddha Vipassaka want to do the Anapanasati like meditation. It is useless. Suddha Vipassaka directly he want to practice 4 element meditation up to its upachara concentration. That means at that time you can see only your body is rupa kalapa only, no other thing, nothing of nothing the other thing. You can see the rupa kalapa or the ultimate. That is the minute particles only. And by producing jhana attainment is the best way. And again, Buddha in the Samyutta Nikaya, you have another sutta, what is called Dhamma Patirupaka Sutta. In this Dhamma Patirupaka Sutta, Buddha, Venerable Kassapa Mahathera, you know, Kassapa Maha Arahant, Kassapa Maha Arahant asked from the Buddha, the Bhante, what leads to disappearance of this profound sasana in the future? Buddha said, if my 4 disciples, Bhikkhu, Bhikkhuni, Upasaka, Upasika, they didn't produce jhana, right? They didn't produce jhana, then my sasana will disappear. So therefore, jhana attainment is very important up to Nibbana, very important. But to the Suddha Vipassaka, it's very hard to go to towards the Nibbana. So if somebody appreciates jhana, it is good. And if somebody condemn jhana and go in this path, that is, I think it is not suitable. So that is my answer to the second question.
Many thanks, Bhante. My only one word is, for example, me in India, my carbon footprint is 1.6 tons per carbon equivalent per year. But an American is having 4 times carbon footprint to damage the only life-supporting planet. A person living in America physically is damaging 4 times a Dalit or a JBM community in India and a JBM community person in America. So jnana is there, let us say both of them. The American way of life will be against protecting the life on earth. I think this is a larger issue I will take up later. Considering the time paucity, I want to thank you and look forward to have more enlightenment. Thank you very much.
Okay, see you then.
Sadhu, 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 Bhante. Our next question is from Dr. Sunil Dahivale. Please go ahead, sir.
Thank you, madam. Bhante ji, Jai Bhim, Namo Buddhaya.
Okay, Sukhi Hotu.
My question is very simple.
Okay.
Why all these Buddhas, they are born in India only?
Yes. Yeah, why? You asked why?
Yeah, what is that special environment or special conducive conditions that Buddhas
right.
are born in India?
Yes.
And not in other countries.
Yeah, because, after world destruction, in the world, while world destruction also, at the end, Bodhi Pallanka, Bodhi Pallanka, your Mahabodhi, our Mahabodhi has Bodhi Pallanka. That means the Buddha's seat, Bodhisattva's seat, Bodhi Pallanka, destroyed at the end. Okay? And then when the world forming and after fully formed, when the world forming also, that Bodhi Pallanka is in your country only, in India only. It is again in Majjhima Pradesh, Majjhima state or some Majjhima Pradesh or Majjhima state. What is that?
Bihar.
Pradesh, I think.
Pradesh, no? Majjhima Pradesh, yeah. Bihar, Bihar. Majjhima Pradesh. So this Bodhi Pallanka is for Bodhi Pallanka appear in the Majjhima Pradesh, where the Buddha, where the Bodhisattva attain the Nibbana, attain the full enlightenment. So that is one reason. And then again, to the Kappa, how many Buddhas arise, which gives the how many Buddhas arise, which also near this Bodhi Pallanka, there are flower. There are usually Paduma flower arises, right? Paduma flower. Paduma means lotus flower. Lotus flower arises there near this Bodhi Pallanka. So it says how many, according to the number of flowers, it says how many Buddha comes to the world. So therefore, in this area only these things happen. This thing happened because of this Bodhipalanka. If it is in the America, Bodhipalanka is the America. America is the Buddha born place, but it never happened, right? It never happened. This Majjhima Pradesh is so powerful. Therefore, Majjhima Pradesh, even your country people are very lucky than the other country people, because you reborn in the Buddha's country, no? So this is the main reason. This is the main reason. Okay.
No, even though Buddhas are born in India, still there is a lot of discrimination, unrest, killings, and no one follows any Buddha's ideology. And at the end, ultimately, what happens? The Buddha's ideology goes to other countries. Here, very few people are practicing Buddhism. The situation is created in such a way that this ideology goes to other countries.
Yeah. For example, that is the Mara is doing this thing, because Mara doesn't like your country people or any country people hearing Dhamma and practicing Dhamma. That is the main reason. Therefore, Buddha knew that Bodhi tree also destroyed by the people because of the hatred. Bodhi tree also destroyed. Therefore, Buddha make a determination. This the right branch of the Bodhi tree be in Sri Lanka. So according to that, your Dhammasoka Adiraja or Dhammasoka king, empire, he Buddha mentioned his name also. Therefore, he ultimately, he and his son and daughter, Sangamita Theri is the daughter, Arahant Theri, and Mahamahinda, his son, and both went to Sri Lanka to spread Dhamma and protect this this Bodhi tree, as well as, in whole three world, in Sri Lanka, Swarnamali Mahacheti only, or the pagoda only, we have huge all the relics, huge number of relics of the Buddhas. So that means especially maybe Mara doesn't like to spread Dhamma into your country, and if Dhamma is not there, such a type thing happening. And again, the politicians destroy any country. For example, let's say like America and the other European countries, their politicians are good, but to the South Asian countries and other countries, politicians are not good. That's the main reason. Because that also depend on that is not the Buddha's fault. That is the people who lives in this country, in this that country.
So you mean to say that there is maximum unrest, maximum discrimination, all the bad things are maximum. That's why Buddha borns here, takes birth here.
Actually, here no, we cannot do such type of statement. I think, and the other thing, even in the Himalaya also, where the Mount Everest is in India, no, Mount Everest is also India. This Mount Everest also helpful to the Bodhisattva, Mount Everest, and then. I actually, to an extent, I can agree with you, but that is not the real answer. But I cannot agree with that answer totally, to an extent only. The other thing, this Pali language, Pali language or Magadha language, only in the Magadha, no. So Buddha, while Buddha giving Dhamma talk, he used this Magadha language. So Magadha language not in the other, for example, in the China or in Russia, no Magadha language. Only in the Majjhima Pradesh, and the suburbs of the Madhyama Pradesh, outskirts of the Madhyama Pradesh, only you have Magadha language. So therefore also Buddha born in Magadha language, and then again you have different languages. So at that time, Buddha, while attaining to the enlightenment, fully enlightenment, he attained automatically 4 Patisambhida knowledges. These 4 Patisambhida knowledge, one is the out of these 4 Patisambhida knowledge, one is the what is called Nirutti Patisambhida. So this Nirutti Patisambhida means, especially they have Pali, they have fluent in Pali. That means they are the grammarian in Pali, and then they know 101 language, more than 100 language in India, not in the other country. No, they don't know English, because English came recently. And you know, your Magadhi language is the oldest language, and the other language like Telugu or Andaka, Yonaka like language, you know, Marathi language, you have Hindi language. Those are the ancient languages. So the other reason also, this language you never see. And even we cannot recite suttas by English language, by Sinhala language, by your language. Only we can recite suttas in Pali language. You know, other languages we cannot recite. So that is also one answer. And the that answer also, whatever you suggest, that is also a little bit true, but I cannot agree totally. Sorry.
Sadhu, 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 Bhante. Next question is, they're asking, it mentions wheel. So was there a wheel, or it's just a hypothetical?
Sorry.
Wheel, like a Dhammacakka, right? So they're asking like whether there's a chakka there.
Right. Dhamma wheel here actually, Atakatha says in this way, no? Atakatha says, Desana Jnanampi, Pativeda Jnanampi, Desana Jnanampi Dhamma Chakkam. That is why Atakatha says, Atakatha gave the real definition. So Desana Jnanampi means discerning knowledge. What discerning knowledge? Buddha, at that time, Buddha's Namarupa, at that time, that means Buddha's materiality, Bodhisattva's materiality and mentality, and the others' materiality and mentality, and 5 aggregates and 18 elements, so on Dhamma, no? So therefore, Atakatha says in that way, the teaching knowledge and the teaching knowledge. If he doesn't know how to teach to the people, then that is also a problem. So teaching knowledge is also good, must be to the Bodhisattva. So therefore, Chakka mean here, Chakka mean continuously move forward. Move forward. If something continuously move forward, it cannot be the what called the other shapes. No, other shapes cannot move, but this round thing, circle thing can move. So therefore, on that that also we can add here. But anyway, the Dhamma, or what I mentioned, the Namarupa, so on Dhamma, Pavattana. Therefore, Tika says, Saddhadi Dhamma Samudayo Pana Pavattanattena Chakkanti Dhamma Chakkan. In this way, Attakatha says, no, what is the meaning? This Saddha, so on Dhamma. Saddha means, you know, faith faculty, so on Dhamma. Pavattanattena, move forward. By means of move forward, that is what is called circle. That is the circle. That means Pavattana, move forward. That's the meaning. Dhamma, move forward. Therefore, Chakka. Got it?
Sadhu, 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 Bhante. Next question is, how do we celebrate Dhammacakkapavattana Day?
Dhammacakkapavattana Day, how to celebrate? Actually, the best way is how to celebrate. Best way is you go to Dhammacakkapavattana Sutta and study well, and take every minute point. every new nuances you want to take here. And for example, it says mainly Four Noble Truths, and it takes eight noble eightfold path. So how to practice? How to practice these things? How we can get rid of our dukkha of the five aggregate, and how we find out the cause for this five aggregate. So then how we, that means what is the base? Base is your sila. In this way, then what is how we can see this dhamma? You need to produce jhana first, or you need to produce 4-element meditation. So that means you need to go on sattva visuddhi, no? So what is the best way is to celebrate this Dhammacakkapavattana day is to meditating, by meditating a real way as taught by the Buddha, not as taught by the other lay people and upasaka upasika or other bhikkhu. Especially bhikkhu, many bhikkhu give the wrong guidance to the community, as well as the many upasika also give the wrong guidance to the community, and you don't depend on that. You take the real dhamma and then practice according to this Dhammacakkapavattana Sutta. You know, this Dhammacakkapavattana Sutta is in the Samyutta Nikaya. Usually, you know, Samyutta Nikaya is short sutta, but this is fairly big. This is fairly big, but you know, if we want to discuss it, sutta, it takes hours, days, and it takes weeks, and it takes months, and it takes years. Because if we discuss this Dhammacakkapavattana Sutta, this has so many information, and this because every dhamma it has, but cannot understand by the people who has not in dhamma, as well as if they take the wrong ideas, then they cannot understand well. But my meaning is here, even days and years also we cannot complete this Dhammacakkapavattana Sutta if we follow very in scrutinizing way. So that means basically I can say how to practice, how to celebrate. You practice meditation at that day, meditation in real not only that day, you practice meditation especially that day. So that's how we want to celebrate. And that means, for example, let's say you are protecting sila and you are taking the one object of out of the 40 samatha meditation, you take the one object and then you produce jhana or the upachara concentration. For example, Buddhanusati gives the upachara concentration, and Dhammanusati gives the upachara concentration, Marananusati gives the upachara concentration, 4-element meditation gives the upachara concentration, but Anapana gives the up to 4 jhana, Kasina jhana up to 4 jhana, like that. Take the one object. That means when you practice in this way, your saddha increase, and in the Dhammacakkapavattana day, you have good mind, because your saddha increase towards the Buddha. Got it?
So wonderful, Bhante. Thank you so much, Bhante. Bhante,
Yeah.
I want to take your permission. I understand it's very late now there, Bhante, and in respect of your time, we have 3
Yeah.
more hands raised, Bhante, and I see like 3 or 4 questions in the chat box.
Okay, no problem.
Also,
I have time.
oh, thank you so much, Bhante. So I will unmute Mr. Arvind Wagmare, and please ask your question.
Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you. Go
I
ahead.
can hear you. Yeah.
With very huge respect to Bhante, Vandami Bhante, and Jai Bhim to all who are actually connected on this platform. Vandaniya Bhante, I have only one question, because as I am studying this, studying Dhamma since last 3-4 years, as per my understanding, Dhamma is very straight and clear, very clear to understand. but some areas are creating unnecessary and big confusion. Therefore,
Yeah.
today I have one question on which please focus. That is it necessary to common man or common upasaka that he should know what is kalpa, what are the years in kalpa, what is bodhisattva and his long tenure and unbelievable lifespan, and what is I mean Samyak Sambuddha, that is his quantum 1,25,000 before Lord Buddha, before Gautam Buddha, and last whether one should believe in supernatural power as you have explained, like for supernatural power, because there is a huge contradiction that Buddha himself never believed in supernatural power and supermanded powers. So will you focus on this first? And last question is, Buddha never mentioned or said anything as per my understanding or hearings, okay, that Buddha will only, next Buddha will only take birth in India, and his lifetime, I mean, in which literature it is specifically mentioned that Buddha will take birth in India only? With your pardon, sir, I am closing this question. Thank you.
Okay. The first question you mentioned in the Manopanidana, I'm correcting you in this way. In the Manopanidana only 125,000. Yeah, 125,000 only in the Manopanidana. In the Vachapanidana, you had 387,000 Buddhas. That means 3 lakhs.
Yes.
Yeah. And then that means how many? 5,000, 12,000. Sorry, 512,000. No, 5 lakhs and 12,000.
Yes, sir. That I understand, respected Bhante, that I understand. But my question is whether common man or upasaka should know all these things, because it is creating a huge confusion. In few literature, it is something else. In other literature, it is something else, which we should follow.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That means what is our main belief? Belief means how we can get into the correct way. Directly go into the Desana. That means the Tipitaka, right? Desana Pali, and then you need to go to the commentary. And if the commentary also you cannot understand, or you cannot, you are founded in the commentary also, you go to the Tika, right? So, but to do that, you need good Pali knowledge. Without Pali knowledge, you can't do this, no? So therefore, what is the main proof is the Tipitaka, no? Except the Tipitaka, we cannot, outside the Tipitaka, we cannot understand this Dhamma. For example, some treatise written by somebody, and they say in this way, like what you said. And but these things are in, I'll tell you, these things I took this thing, or I cited this thing from the, in what called the Jataka. Jataka, you have Jataka Pali, that means Jataka in the Khuddaka Nikaya, you have Jataka Pali, and Jataka Pali, you have Gantaramba Katha. Gantaramba Katha, that means the Gantaramba Katha means the description of the description of the, or we can say prefix, like, okay, preface. Or we can say, this is the description of description to the book, description to the book, Gantaramba Katha. In the Gantaramba Katha, you have every details. And again, you go to the Buddhavansa, and again you go to the Charya Pitaka. And we have another good account in the Kappa Vinasa. Kappa Vinasa, it is in the this Tipitaka also. It is in Kappa Vinasa. You need to go to Pakinaka Ganta Sangaho. Right? Pakinaka Ganta Sangaho. If you go to the Pakinaka Ganta Sangaha, you have Kappa Vinasa. In this Kappa Vinasa also, you have good account. So therefore, those are the references. And if you have good Pali knowledge, you go and read. And this is the only way to all countries. This has happened. This that means Upasaka Upasika and Bhikkhu and the Sayale. That means the Dasasila Mata also. If they have less knowledge, they are not. Their mindset is different, and they don't respect to the Buddha, and they give their biases, not the Buddha. What Buddha says, they give their biases only. That means they give counterfeit Dhamma to the community. That is common in whole world. Now in this country also, I mean now Myanmar also, we have different counterfeit Dhamma. Only one tradition only protect this Dhamma very clearly. And whole country, whole world in this situation has happened now. So this is these are the references, and you don't believe whatever the Upasaka Upasika and Bhikkhu Bhikkhuni, not nowadays no Bhikkhuni, their biases you don't believe. You go directly to the Atthakatha and the Desana Pali, and then take the meaning. If you don't know Pali, you ask from somebody who has known the Pali. Is that the question that we? Is that the question? That is the answer. Is that the answer? Oh, okay. Okay, then Dr. Sheetal, maybe he got the answer. Hello.
Sorry, Bhante.
Okay.
Yeah, Bhante, we have a next question from Mr. Praveen Lavande. So go ahead, sir.
Vandami Bhante, this is Praveen. I'm calling from Mumbai. And this is such a enlightening the speed, like basically the things you have done. Many things like that I have learned for the first time. So my question is very simple. I know the fact is, whatever the resources and then literature India used to have, like it got lost and burnt in a major transition, and most of the literature has traveled through other South Asian countries, including Sri Lanka, Nepal, Bhutan, China, and then other countries. So whatever the knowledge we are having here in India, maybe like it's more kind of Sanskritized. Because of the Sanskritization, we may not get the right knowledge. So my question is very simple. We have here a Ram Setu, which is a connecting bridge between India and Sri Lanka. So as per the Sri Lankan literature, what that actually signifies, whether it has any relevance with the Buddhism, because we knew that during Ashoka's period, Sangamitra and then Rahul has gone to the Bhante, has gone to the Sri Lanka to spread the Buddhism. So is there any connect with that through that line? Because here most of the people, they think Ram Setu, but is there any kind of Buddhism connect with that route?
Ram Setu mean the what called bridge, Ram Bridge.
Correct. Yeah.
Actually, no, Ram Bridge mean another story. In Sri Lanka, it says in this way. Anyway, this Sangamita Mahateri and Mahinda Maha Arahant, they went to Sri Lanka to spread Dhamma, no? And then Sangamita Teri start the Bhikkhuni Sasana in Sri Lanka. Mahinda Maha Arahant start the Bhikkhu Sasana in Sri Lanka. And then up to now, Sri Lankan Bhikkhu from the beginning Arahant, and then I think currently I don't believe any Arahant in this world, but Anyway, they protected Dhamma in this way, and then this Rama Setu or the Rama Bridge. Rama Bridge is that means maybe they formed or some, I don't know the real history. This bridge they form, or it may be natural. So anyway, whatever the reason, this Rama is the another story, Rama and Sita or something like that. Ravana is in our country, Rama Sita in your country, and then this Ravana has an what is called helicopter or something like that. Then he came to your country and saw this Sita. He's a very stunning one, a beautiful one, and then he took her and came to Sri Lanka back. And then this Rama is a very good one. That means he protecting Sila and like that. And anyway, this what called the war has happened after that. That is this story. That is that related to that bridge. And this venerable Arahant, venerable Mahamahinda, he has Shadabinya, no? He has Shadabinya. And because of this Shadabinya, he came into what called our mountain in Anuradhapura. He came there and he met our king at that time. So this story is going on, that thing, and in our Mahavansa, that is the big history book. It says in this way. That means that is another story. That bridge is another story, and this Mahamahinda Arahant and the Sangamita Mahateri story is the different. Got it? Got it? Or what happened?
Yeah, looks like maybe he's on mute. He's on mute, Bhante.
Really? No. Okay. And then maybe he got the answer. I don't know. That means okay. Yeah, hearing no. Again, Buddha knew that to the India again Adhamma comes, right? Again Adhamma comes. Now also India Adhamma is going on by way of the Dhamma name. Dhamma name, Adhamma is going on. Adhamma, all people practicing Adhamma. Buddha knew this thing. Okay, any other question, Doctor?
Yes, Bhante, there are a couple more. Is that okay, Bhante?
Okay, no problem.
Thank you, Bhante. So question is how to differentiate between Samma Samadhi and non-Samma Samadhi? How can clarify the doubt practicing Samadhi through light nimitta, patibhaga nimitta is the right Samadhi?
Okay. The first question, how to differentiate right Samadhi, Samma Samadhi from non-Samma Samadhi?
Yeah.
Yeah, Samma Samadhi means, Samma Samadhi, Buddha explained Samma Samadhi in Isipatana Sutta and another Sutta also. Samma Samadhi is up to 4th jhana. Up to 4th jhana means first jhana, second jhana, third jhana, 4th jhana are the Samma Samadhi Buddha mentioned in the Desana Pali. That is the Buddha's Desana Vilasa. That means the method of deliverance. And but Atakatha says in this way, this is Buddha's idea. Atakatha says in the Buddha's idea. Atakatha says when Buddha delivered this Dhamma talk as four types of jhana in the Rupavachara jhana or the fine material jhana, and then below this first jhana, you have Upachara concentration or the access concentration. That means by way of 4-element meditation. So that means for the Suddha Vipassaka, Samma Samadhi is the 4-element meditation. And then you have again another jhana also. You have Akasananchayatana jhana, Vinyananchayatana jhana, Akinchanyayatana jhana, and the Nevasanyana jhana. But Buddha here not mentioned. And Buddha mentioned middle part. middle part. So in Netipakarana, it says very clearly, if Buddha mentioned middle part, you take both end. You take both end. That means you need to, in this, as in this example, if Buddha mentioned four jhana is the samma.
Bhante, your mic is mute now, Bhante.
Now?
Yes, Bhante, we can hear you.
Okay. Now that means Buddha mentioned in Samma Samadhi in this way. And then that is the Samma Samadhi. No? Samma means righteous way of concentration. Righteous way of concentration. How to produce? How to produce mean take Buddha's 40 meditation subject and then practice. That is the Samma Samadhi. And then the other non-Samma Samadhi. Non-Samma Samadhi mean, for example, the other sectarians. I cannot find out in this Tipitaka non-Samma Samadhi. Non-Samma Samadhi mean, Samma Samadhi mean, the other meaning of Samma Samadhi is directed to the Nibbana. Samma Samadhi. That means Samma Samadhi, because of this Samma Samadhi, your inside knowledge arises. And Michcha Samadhi, maybe Michcha Samadhi or non-Samma Samadhi, we can say Michcha Samadhi. Michcha Samadhi means your ekagata or one-pointedness while arising any mind, even it is hatred mind or lustful mind or the moha mind or the jnana mind. That means the sobhana mind or the beautiful mind. Any mind arise, your ekagata is there. So ekagata means the one-pointedness. So ekagata direct towards the object, and other mind mental factors also direct towards the object. Now Michcha Samadhi or the non-Samma Samadhi, that means it has no light. It has no light. Samma Samadhi has a light. And again, Michcha Samadhi not directed to the Nibbana or to understand the mentality and materiality and their causes. Samma Samadhi is directly understand the mentality, materiality and their causes, and even inside knowledge furthermore. And those are the how to differentiate. This is the way to differentiate this Samma Samadhi and Michcha Samadhi. Especially Samma Samadhi means Upachara concentration by way of any Upachara concentration, Upachara object or the access object. And up to fourth jhana, fourth Rupavachara jhana also Upachara. Samma Samadhi, and Arupa, for Arupa jhana also Samma Samadhi. Others are non-Samma Samadhi. In this way also I can tell according to the Tipitaka, right? Otherwise I am not going. And then what she again asked, what is the question? Again, the second question?
Yeah, how can clarify the doubt of practicing Samadhi through light nimitta? Patibhaga nimitta is the right Samadhi?
Yeah, for example, that means whenever you practice samatha meditation, you have basically three types of concentration. The first one is preliminary concentration, or what is called parikamma samadhi. And then other one is the upachara concentration or the access concentration, what is called upachara samadhi. And other one is the jhana concentration, absorption concentration. These three samadhi are the thing. Whenever you take the object, you can have these three types of samadhi. For example, if you're practicing anapanasati meditation, when you see your in-breath, out-breath and the touch point, and if you can maintain your mindfulness comfortably and peacefully for at least 1 hour, that is on that time you have parikamma samadhi. And sometimes you may have light in this parikamma samadhi. That is the parikamma nimitta, what is called parikamma nimitta. And when you practice more and more on this parikamma nimitta, by taking this parikamma nimitta as an object, and then you have again it develop uggaha nimitta, that means the counter, that means learning sign, that is also gives the light, and this is also parikamma samadhi, not the higher samadhi. And then whenever you maintain your mindfulness on this uggaha nimitta, it became the patibhaga nimitta. It became bright, brilliant, and radiant, and that is the patibhaga nimitta. So in the patibhaga nimitta, when you practice, when you focus patibhaga nimitta, in front of you, you have patibhaga nimitta while practicing, and then this is your upachara concentration or access concentration. In Pali, upachara samadhi. So then after that, whenever you concentrate your upachara, what called the patibhaga nimitta, then the jhana, thereafter you have jhana concentration. Thereafter you have jhana concentration. That means jhana samadhi. So light mean the light mean sometimes light. This light may be your parikamma nimitta or uggaha nimitta or patibhaga nimitta. So keep it in mind, this is the way mean you have, whenever you practice samatha meditation, you have three types of samadhi. Basically, one is the parikamma samadhi, preliminary concentration, and then the upachara samadhi, access concentration, and your jhana samadhi, your absorption concentration. So this is the way to understand. Light and the nimitta are the same. Got it?
Yes, sadhu, 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 Bhante.
Okay.
Mr. Shashank Kamre, please go ahead with the question.
Vandami Bhanteji.
Sukhi hotu.
My one simple question is, on 14 October 1956, Bodhisattva Baba Sahib Ambedkar had converted 5 lakhs of people to Buddhism.
Sadhu, sadhu.
So on this day, we got an opportunity to practice Buddhism from that day, and then we got this path of Buddha's path in our land. So according to you, Bhanteji, what day we should call this? This is the massive conversion day. What day we should call? Because the title of this talk is Only Buddha Can Do Dhammacakkapavattana. So what day we should call this? Is it a Dhamma Diksha day, or is it a massive conversion day? What day we should call this?
Okay, now let's say, actually, I also appreciate this Dr. Ambedkar, because he's an extraordinary one, gentleman, and without him, it is indispensable to attain to the Buddhism to the Indian people. That means he has done a good job. We all appreciate his job. And Buddha also knew this thing. Buddha also knew this. Dr. Ambedkar come to India. He spread the Buddhism. But again, Buddha knew another yogi or another upasaka comes to India. He spread Adhamma to the India. Buddha knew everything. So anyway, this day actually, we cannot compare Buddha and our Dr. Ambedkar. We cannot compare, because Buddha is the unique one. Buddha is the superiorest one because of his achievement and param, So therefore, this is actually a challenging question. What name we want to apply? You suggest Dhamma Diksha Day. What day, Dr. Sheeter?
Yeah, Dhamma Diksha, like a ceremony or conversion day.
Ceremony of conversion day, Diksha, no? Yeah, actually, I cannot, that means actually we want to give a good name, not in a hurry. I also think I also think because according to his duty, that's a great duty, no? The whole world appreciated him. And we want to think what is the good name for that? Not at the moment, but anyway, I admire your question also. That's challenging for me because I also at right now I have no answer for that because I want to think. Got it?
Thank you, Bhante. A few more questions, Bhante, in the chat box. So who understands the Four Noble Truths? Is it Sotapanna, Sakadagami, Anagami, or Arhat, or Bodhisattva?
Oh, Bodhisattva doesn't understand Four Noble Truths. Why? He want to attain Nibbana. I'm sorry, he want to attain Buddhahood. So anytime, now how many Bodhisattva has 20 Asankhya Kappa, up to 20 Asankhya Kappa we went, no? So many lives, multiple lives, uncountable lives. So Bodhisattva attain Nibbana, Bodhisattva attain to the Four Noble Truths at the Bodhi tree in his final life only. So, so now we remove Bodhisattva in that way. And, you know, every Sotapanna also must discern Four Noble Truths and understand the Four Noble Truths. And Sakadagami also same. Anagami also same. This Arihant one also same. Why? You know, this Four Noble Truths is the powerhouse of this Dhamma. And this is the heart of this Dhamma. No? That means, what is the Four Noble Truth? I explained this. Dukkha Satya is the one Four Noble Truth. What is that Dukkha Satya? Your materiality and the mentality. And you need to discern this materiality and mentality up to its Paramattha level while practicing Vipassana. That means before practicing true Vipassana, that means if you if you take an object and you contemplate it as anicca dukkha anatta at the final level of Vipassana. Before that, you need to identify or you need to discern your object. Because you are practicing Vipassana, the object practice, right? You practice the object as anicca dukkha anatta. So therefore, you need to choose your object. What is your object? Vipassana has two main objects. The first one is Dukkha Satya Dhamma. The other one is the Samudaya Satya Dhamma. So Dukkha Satya Dhamma means your five aggregate. Your mentality and materiality mean your five aggregate. Your Rupakhanda, that means your materiality aggregate. Your perception aggregate. Your Sanya, your Vedana aggregate, that means your feeling aggregate. And your Sankhara aggregate, formation aggregate, that is the formation aggregate. And then you have a consciousness aggregate. So this is the suffering five aggregate. So you need to discern these five aggregates by way of jhana light or the upachara light from the for the Suddha Vipassana. So so this is but you now know. For example, if you attain jhana and if you practice 4 element meditation and then you discern your mentality and materiality, that means your five aggregate, that is still mundane. Still mundane means you did such a great job here, but you're still mundane. But you see very clearly your Patavi Dhatu, Apo Dhatu, and Tejo Dhatu, your Saddha, Sati, Hiri, Ottappa, everything, your Jnana, everything you can see. You can see in within the light. But the thing is still one mundane. Why you didn't see the Nibbana? You didn't see the Nibbana. Nibbana is the supramundane object. Only supramundane object is the Nibbana. So when the Magga Chitta and Phala Chitta comes, and then not only that, you need to find out what is the causes for these five aggregates. That is in your past life. So you need to go to your past life. How to go? By way of this Nama and Rupa or the mentality and materiality. You need to go to see your first past life. And then you need to take what is tanha there. What tanha you reborn here. What tanha you reborn here. Everything you want to find out. And that is one object. That is the Samudaya Satya object. Now you have five aggregate object, that is the dukkha satya object, and you have that tanha and avijja, so on thing in the past lives. And then you have, now you are knowing the object and take one by one, one after one, and then practice vipassana as anicca dukkha anatta. That means in the while practicing before practice vipassana, you need to find out the samudaya satya object as well as the dukkha satya object. So that means these are still the mundane state, not the supra mundane state. And then whenever you see the nibbana while practicing vipassana, that at that time only you understand this dukkha satya dhamma and the samudaya satya dhamma, nirodha satya, because nirodha means the nibbana, and the magga satya dhamma, all satya dhamma in the supra mundane way, or the supra mundane state, you understand after seeing nibbana only. So therefore, every sotapanna also must practice this four noble truth as mundane first, and sakadagami also must practice this four noble truths as mundane first, as mundane ultimate materiality and ultimate mentality. And the other also, both other arahant and the so what is called the anagami also must practice these four four noble truths. Okay.
Sadhu, 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 Bhante. That's such a profound explanation, Bhante.
Okay,
Next question is, Bhante.
Yeah.
Like all the five bhikkhus, after Buddha gave Dhammacakkapavattana Sutta, did
Yes.
they attain Sotapanna stage? Or my understanding, Bhante, is like all
Yes.
of them attained Sotapanna, and then Bhante, Buddha gave Anattalakkana Sutta, and all of them, like gradually, one day after another, they attain arhatship. So, can you explain, Bhante?
Okay. That means in while giving this sutta, only Kondanya Bhikkhu Kondanya, or the Venerable Kondanya attain Sotapanna state, and then thereafter, slowly, other four bhikkhus also attain to the Sotapanna. Okay, and then as you said, the Anattalakkana Sutta, slowly, next day, the other day, like they attain Sotapanna thereafter, because they are now practicing. Because they before that the real dhamma they don't know. Now Buddha gave the real dhamma by way of four noble truths and the central way, that means Majjhima Patipada, or the noble eightfold path. So now they know the noble eightfold path and the four noble truths. And you know, before also their parami is good. Their parami is good. That means they have practiced many lives up to Sankaropeka. They produce jhana, and up to Sankaropeka they have practiced. Therefore, they attain only Kondanja Brahmana, or the Kondanja, Venerable Kondanja attain Sotapanna while giving Dhamma talk, or at the end of the Dhamma talk, at the end of the Dhamma talk with the 18 billion Brahma. And other bhikkhus attain thereafter. And then only Anattalakkana Sutta, they attain arahantship. Okay? That is the way, Dr. Sheetal?
Yes, Bhante. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Next question, Bhante. Is there a formula of birth, kamma, chitta, ahara, and utu, or rutu, they said here, applicable to the Buddha too?
Formula. Is that a formula?
Or maybe just a niyam, I think they are saying. Maybe the jati, kamma, chitta, ahara, utu is applicable to Buddha too.
Yeah. Every Buddha also kamma, chitta, utu, ahara, kamma niyama, dhamma niyama, utu niyama, chitta niyama, maybe, right? Okay. Buddha also, all are common to the Buddha also. All Sabhava Dhamma, all the natural laws, all are common to the Buddhas. That means, for example, you know, kamma mean, what is kamma? your kammaja rupa. For example, your chakku dasaka kalapa, you have chakku pasada rupa. That means your eye sensitivity. So this eye sensitivity is from the kamma. And then your sota pasada, your ear sensitivity, also kamma. Or we can say ear translucency, that is also kamma. And then your heart base, you have hade dasaka kalapa, you have heart materiality, that is also from kamma. And your bhava rupa, it decide whether you are male or female, that is your bhava rupa. That means that is also from the kamma. And such type of thing to the Buddha is also common. Buddha also has what is called the Jivita Navaka Kalapa, Jivita Navaka Rupa Kalapa. That means 9 types of Rupa Kalapa. And these 9 types of Rupa Kalapa, you have what is called Pachaka Tejo. That means digestive power, digestive element. This without this digestive element, you cannot digest your food. So therefore, to everybody, every beings, these kamma, chitta, utu, ahara, same, but quality wise different, no? Because we never cannot attain to the Buddha's skin complexion, and we never cannot attain to the Buddha's power, and we cannot never attain to the Mahakacha and Maha-Arahanta's skin color like that. Okay, it is common to the Buddhas, very common.
Yes, Bhante. So, Bhante, I see like 2 more questions in the chat.
Okay.
How right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration apply correctly to appear nimitta? I would be grateful, Bhante, if you could provide some details while practicing.
Yeah. Let's take some object. Let's take Anapanasati object. So what is your Anapanasati object? Is the in-breath, out-breath, and touch point, or breath, we can say. Now, right effort, or Samma Vayama, Samma Sati, Samma Samadhi mean the Samadhi Khand, Samadhi aggregate, no? So how to practice now to attain up to the what is called the nimitta? In this way. I took the Anapanasati meditation. So therefore, I am mentioned about the Anapanasati meditation regarding Anapana. So you have 4 steps in Anapana. No, first step is the your long breath, and the second step is your short breath, and third step is your whole breath body, and fourth step is your tranquilizing breath formation. So whenever you follow your object in long breath, what happens? What you want to do every second, you need to follow your object. You need to follow your object peacefully and calm and peacefully. You need to follow your object straightforward without going to other objects. It gives from the 5 sense doors. Without going to that object, you need to oblivious. You need to oblivious towards the object only, your current object. In that way, that means your mindfulness is correct way. That is the correct mindfulness. If you maintain this mindfulness is straightforward to the object every second, without turning your mindfulness towards the other objects from the 5 sense doors, you focus your object. That is that means your mindfulness is Samma mindfulness. So Samma Sati. And then to do in this way, you need to have effort. You need to have effort. That means without this effort, you cannot maintain your mindfulness. For example, if you are sluggish to catch the object, touch the object, what happened? Then you cannot follow the object. And sometimes if you feel sleepiness, your virya is low virya, and then again you cannot you cannot first follow the object, and then sometimes you may have for example dizziness, or some after, for example, as soon as take the food, don't meditate. So that means this food gives some sleepiness like thing. So therefore your virya will go down. So maintaining this type of virya, and then again determination. Make determination within this such and such an hour. I never want to get up from the sitting position, and like that. That is also included to the virya. And then then it now you are seeing the long breath, and if you meditate for long breath, if you meditate by focusing long breath for long time, for at least 1 hour, if you don't see the nimitta, that means parikamma nimitta, it's like a parikamma nimitta is like a cigarette smoking color. That means it has not so condensed. It is very subtle light. And if you cannot see this subtle light, that is the parikamma nimitta, then Buddha said to you to go to the second step. Like so, therefore, that means in that way you want to practice. And then if you see the nimitta while practicing short breath, if you have short breath, this is the second step. And then whenever you practice, whenever you focus your mindfulness with good mindfulness, this short breath, if you see the nimitta, parikamma nimitta, no problem. But if you don't see the nimitta, then go to the third step. That is the usual way the Buddha said. If the third step also, if you can maintain your mindfulness comfortably and peacefully, and if you still don't see the nimitta, and then go to the fourth step, that is the tranquilizing of the bed formation. And this way, ultimately, anyway, if you maintain your mindfulness towards the object first, anapana object first, then the nimitta comes. And whenever you have this nimitta, I don't know in the question anapana or the other meditation. I took anapana meditation here, but I again explained the other meditation. That means other meditation means what is the nimitta like. Now, whenever you practice the fourth step, that means the tranquilizing of breath body. If you can maintain your mindfulness to the tranquilizing of breath body for at least 1 hour peacefully and comfortably, and whenever you if you see the nimitta, no problem. And then if you see the nimitta, but you still want to be in the anapana object, in breath, out breath, and touch point, and don't go to see the nimitta very quickly. You don't need to rush to see the nimitta. And then over the time, whenever you when you meditate with the correct mindfulness and the correct effort, and this whatever the nimitta in front of you, this nimitta and the breath become unified. Unified means you can understand this nimitta and the breath are the same like thing. And then only your mind automatically goes to the nimitta and touch there. And then the parikamma nimitta is the object. Your breath is not the object. So but you focus that thing, and then it become more condensed, and that is the uggaha nimitta. It may be white or any other color. And then whenever you focus this uggaha nimitta, it becomes very bright, brilliant and radiant or something like that. And then that is the what is called patibhaga nimitta. That is the samma samadhi. In this way, practice is the samma samadhi, because while maintaining your mindfulness, your virya also goes up. While maintaining your mindfulness, your what called the concentration or samadhi also goes up. So therefore, mindfulness is the main factor here. If you maintain mindfulness very correctly, steadfast towards the object, then the other two factors, other two mental factors, samma samadhi and the samma vayama, comes together to the mindfulness. So automatically they comes to the mindfulness. So therefore, you maintain mindfulness, then the if it is samma mindfulness or samma sati, then the samma samadhi also develop, samma viriya also develop. So mainly mindfulness is the basic thing. So therefore, Buddha said, satincha kwahang bhikkhave, satincha kwaham bhikkhave sabbatikang vadami. That means sati is sati, or the mindfulness is mental lot for everywhere. Mental lot for everywhere, as Buddha said in Ahara Sutta. Got it?
Sadhu, 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 Bhante. And this is a last question.
Yes.
What is the reason Bodhisattva not understand Four Noble Truths?
Yeah. Because now what is the Four Noble Truth? First I want to tell, Bodhisattva understand the Noble Truths mundane level. Mundane level, because he practiced this samatha and vipassana meditation up to Sankarupeka, no? Vipassana meditation up to Sankarupeka in multiple lives. And samatha meditation, maybe all samatha meditation, or up to 8 attainment in multiple lives. Multiple lives. So because now Bodhisattva also, we have two satcha. Two satcha mean two different parts of this satcha: mundane satcha and the supramundane satcha. Mundane dukkha satcha and supramundane dukkha satcha. Mundane samudaya satcha, supramundane samudaya satcha. As well as mundane nirodha satcha, supramundane nirodha satcha. As well as we can say mundane magga satcha, supramundane magga satcha. So therefore, this Bodhisattva, while practicing, for example, without in the Bodhisattva's Tirachana or the animal lives, he cannot practice. But in the case of human life and Deva Brahma life, he can practice up to, but only in the mundane level only. Mundane level means he can see in very correct, what are natural features and the general features, he can understand, he can see, even meditator can see because of the Buddha. And again, Four Noble Truths, why he cannot understand the supramundane Four Noble Truths? This is the question, right? Mundane, in the mundane level, he understood already, but the supramundane, he cannot at the moment. At the moment, mean in the Bodhisattva's, not the last life. I mean before last life, he don't need to practice up to supramundane level. Why? If he practice supramundane level, he became Sotapanna or Sakadagami or Anagami or Arihat. But to the Bodhisattva, he want to have the parami up to Arahant, while taking the definite prophecy from any Buddhas. This is a must. This is the mandatory. And you know why now Buddha or the Bodhisattva cannot attain Four Noble Truths? Because his idea is different. His goal is different. He want to keep this supramundane attainment up to his final life, last life. That is the Buddhahood. So Buddhahood, that he also want to first get enlightenment, arahantship. Then only other jnana comes. Arahant path knowledge first come, and then the arahant fruition knowledge thereafter come to the bodhisattva. That means arahant. If he attain arahant path knowledge, that means he became arahant, and then fruition knowledge, after arising the fruition knowledge, with the fruition knowledge, your Bodhisattva Sabbanyuta Jnana associated, Dasabala Jnana associated, and then another all other Jnana, Patisambheda Jnana and other 73 Jnana associated with the Phala Jnana or the fruition knowledge. So because of that reason, because that is keep for the final life. For example, in let's say like in the Vesantara life, if Buddha sees the Nibbana and Four Noble Truths, then he became Arahanto any Magapala, no? So therefore, Bodhisattva mean he doesn't attain any Magapala. He doesn't attain any Magapala. Final life, only he attained Magga and Phala. Got it?
Sadhu, 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 Bhante. Bhante, one question popped up in chat.
Yes.
Should we take that question, Bhante?
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Only if Venerable permits, that's what saying. While practicing, tense and stress arises on eyes, face, and nose. While practicing Anapanasati?
Yes.
So, any suggestion on that?
Yes. Because, while practicing any meditation, on not only Anapanasati meditation, while practicing any meditation, your materiality, what is your body made up of? Mainly 4 elements. 4 elements mean your earth elements and your water elements and your what's called the wind element and fire element. Those are the 4 elements. So these 4 elements has natural features. For example, Pathavi has roughness, hardness, heaviness, like natural features. And then again, softness, lightness, and smoothness. And Apo has two natural features, flowing and cohesion. And Tejo has 2 features, heat and the cold. And your wind element has 2 features, that is the pushing and supporting. So these 12 characteristics, we can understand or we can feel these 12 characteristics while your mindfulness goes up by practicing any meditation, even practicing Vipassana also. Your mindfulness goes up. So because of this mindfulness, your I become like a fasciculatory movement. Movement mean somebody cannot see that thing. You can understand only. You can see your eyeball is turning away, turning around and around, and it gives some different movements, and your nose also gives because of the hardness, roughness, and heaviness of the Patavi Dhatu, or pushing feature of the Vayo Dhatu. Maybe in the Apo Dhatu you have flowing feature, and again you have heat or cold in your Tejo Dhatu. Or anything can happen. Anything can arise, and you can understand these 4 element object features. So therefore, while meditating, especially Anapanasati meditation, because usually we another thing that is one thing. That is one thing. That means while practicing any meditation, your 4 element object become prominent. Otherwise, whenever you are doing another duty, then you cannot understand your 4 element meditation characteristic. But while practicing meditation, your mindfulness goes up, and then only you can understand these 4 elements. So don't pay attention to that 4 element. You focus your object. And then another reason, usually while usually we see by our eye, no, in the usual life we see by our eye. So now in the practice also, Anapanasati meditation also, usually yogi or the meditator, eyeballs become he want to see the object by the eyeball. So therefore he turn around and around the eyeball towards the object. That means towards the nose. So therefore also it become tired. Eyeball, eyeball muscles, many eyeball muscles you have, oblique muscles, so on muscles. So these muscles become now tired. Tired mean, yeah, we can say tired. And then also you may feel pain in the eyeball. So therefore, don't see the object by the eyeball. Your mind only acting while practicing meditation. Your five sense doors are not usually not open unless you go to the five sense doors object, and your mind is open now towards the object, and try to see by the mind. Your eye don't focus towards the object, that means towards the nose. Don't focus the eye. That is the another the, we can say, tradition, another remedy, right? Sorry, another remedy. And then usually both these, one is the four element meditation, four element features come out, and then other one is we are using eyeball to see. You should prevent these things. Got it?
Sadhu, 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 Bhante. I don't see any other questions or hand raised, Bhante. So I want to express my deep gratitude, Bhante, for taking such a wonderful session on a very hard topic, and with all your profound knowledge, Bhante, you enlightened us, Bhante. So sadhu, 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 Bhante. And want you to maybe share merits of what we have uncovered through Dhamma Savanam and Dhamma Sakacha.
Okay. Yeah. Sharing merits. Idam me punyang asavakhaya vaham hotu.
Idam me punyang asavakhaya vaham hotu.
Idam me punyang
Idam me punyang
nibbanasa pachayo hotu.
Nibbanasa pachayo hotu.
Mama punyang bhagang.
Mama punyang bhagang.
Sabbe sattanang bhajemi.
Sabbe sattanang bhajemi.
Te sabbe me samang.
Te sabbe me samang.
Punyang bhagang labhantu.
Punyang bhagang labhantu.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Sadhu.